Welcome back. New tonight at 6, a man from Western New York who served years in prison now finds himself back behind bars just months after being released. But according to his attorney and also according to his family, he did nothing wrong.
They say it's a clerical error and that he should be released immediately. Well, 2 on Your Side's Claudine Ewing investigates in this 2 on Your Side original story.
This man is back in prison.
Why am I sitting in jail? And I didn't commit a crime.
Letorrance Travis spent nearly 10 years in prison for some serious drug charges. He was released in May and sent here to this halfway house on Glenwood Avenue in the city of Buffalo. In November, he was allowed to go home, be with his family, but there were conditions. He had to wear an ankle bracelet, really like a GPS monitor tracking every move he made. And then wherever he wanted to go, he had to list it on an itinerary. And that is where this becomes very interesting.
I went on a ski resort with my job, and I was approved to go there.
2 on Your Side has a copy of his itinerary for a December Christmas job party at Holiday Valley. It also lists a private address where the workers would meet before traveling together to the ski resort.
I received a phone call from the halfway house hours later stating that I better get to the halfway house and don't be a minute late.
According to this incident report, a monitor detected he was at a private residence in Ellicottville while approved to be at Holiday Valley. For being at a private residence, Mr. Travis is in violation of being in an unauthorized area. How could that be when the itinerary clearly has the private address and the address of the ski resort? His sister is outraged.
He had a GPS monitor on his ankle. Why would anyone in their right mind go somewhere that you should not go?
Travis had a hearing at the halfway house with no lawyer.
I have significant concerns about the due process at that hearing.
That's his attorney, Jeremy Schwartz.
An individual in a halfway house does not have the same rights as you would in a normal federal court, but there is still due process rights that should be followed.
Letorrance Travis was sent back to prison in January. Meanwhile, there is a notarized document from a halfway house worker who states she only put in the comments section of the schedule the address of the ski resort, and it was approved by a case manager. When she informed Travis that it was approved, he told her about the private residence address. She wrote, "I did not put this information in the schedule." She acknowledged it was written on the itinerary and took responsibility, adding, "I was negligent in putting all of the necessary information." Are we talking about a clerical error that led to him being picked up and taken back to prison?
I do have statements from those individuals that was, if anything, a clerical error and nothing to do with something Mr. Travis did wrong.
To be sitting back in jail for not committing a crime and for actually doing the right thing, it doesn't sit well with me.
It angers his family.
He was set up for failure.
This halfway house, LightHouse Residential Reentry Center, is operated by Community Resources for Justice, or CRJ. The family and a councilman question those running the facility in Buffalo.
For you to have the power to send someone back to prison without any type of legal guidance or advice or any type of you're the judge, the juror, and the prosecutor, that's wrong.
Does this sound like a place that is helping people?
It does not sound like a place that is helping people. The entire Letorrance Travis issue is disconcerting.
This has now changed a person's life. There's a man who's back in prison.
No, this didn't just change Letorrance's life. He had children who he was reunited with, stripped away over a clerical error that was admitted by the staff of that agency.
Would you say somebody needs to answer for this?
Someone definitely needs to answer for this. I specifically asked that they do a fact-finding investigation.
I reached out to CRJ. They wouldn't go on camera, but in a statement said that we have completed an internal investigation and found no evidence of a clerical error.
We want my brother
released immediately.
Immediately. And we want these people held accountable. Because you can't hold someone accountable for something if you're not holding yourself accountable.
Again, I checked in with CRJ, the nonprofit that owns the reentry halfway house. They maintain Travis was out of compliance with accountability protocols. If this case stands, he could spend a year in prison. This presents another question. Is the system failing to help or helping people fail? We'll continue to dig into this issue. Claudine Ewing, Channel 2 News.